Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 11, Chapter 12. Love, the Sine qua non, Part 2 of 2. Wisdom is compassion at its highest. If your devotion does not stand by you when you seek to revere the reflections of God in the body mirrors that move around you, when you peer into and prostrate before these images of God that parade before you, wherever you cast your eyes, how can you claim to be devoted to God, the original of which these are but faint and faltering echoes? This is the sadhana, spiritual discipline, I prescribe for you. Without steady faith in this sadhana and sincere practice of this sadhana, if you simply group together, preparing and sharing prasadams, eatables placed as offerings to God, on every conceivable occasion, or even singing and extolling God, I must say that your efforts are all in vain. Expand your hearts. Enlarge your vision, enlarge the circle of kinship. Take more and more of your fellow beings into the tabernacle of your hearts, and adore them in loving worship. Wisdom is only compassion at its highest, for through sympathy you enter the heart of another and understand him through and through. You go behind the veil of pretense and punditry, convention and custom. You go behind good manners and fashion that people put on to hide their agony and ignorance from the rest of the world. Finding the unity in this diversity of roles is true wisdom. Have no other thought than God. You consider Shivaratri to be a great event, a sacred festival, because of the emergence of the linga from this body. The linga emerged this day from the embodied Shiva, and the ancient Shastras, ancient scriptures say Brahma and Vishnu, who sought to measure its glory, could not succeed in their venture. Some superficial scholars say that Shiva was born this day, as if the Sat-Chit Ananda Swarupa has either beginning or end. Some say that he started tapas, penance, today, and some others that today marks the conclusion of his tapas. Even this is due to attempt to drag divinity down to human level, so that man can peer into the face of God and move as his servant or slave. The affinity should elevate both, not degrade the outer and the inner divine. No low desire or vulgar ambition should be ascribed to Godhead by the meanness of man. God is all-powerful. God is everywhere. God is all-knowing. To adore such a formidable, limitless principle, man spends a few minutes out of the 24 hours and uses a minute before an idol or image or picture. It is indeed ridiculous. It is practically futile. Adore him so long as you have breath, so long as you are conscious. Have no other thought than of God, no other aim than knowing His command, no other activity than translating that command into action. That is what is meant by surrender. Render yourself unto Him. When you intend going on a journey, you hand over the keys of your car to the chauffeur and sit in comfort and security in the back seat, forgetting the possible troubles on the way. You have surrendered your life into the hands of that man, his intelligence, alertness, and skill. Some men do not fully surrender. They are too egoistic for that. They interrupt him every minute with tips, hints, and suggestions about driving, with questions and doubts regarding the condition of the car or the road. And so they confuse him and confound his confidence so much that they inflict accidents upon themselves. Be steady, have faith, and reach the goal safe. Life is the car, your heart is the key. God is the Sarathi, chauffeur. Surrender to him and be rid of further bother. Travel safe and arrive happy. You are atheist if you have no love in you. There are many who declare that they have surrendered to me. They use the word arpana. They have dedicated their thanu, mana, dhana, body, mind, wealth, their all, they proclaim. But they still continue with their I did it, I feel so, I think so, I like it, and I do not like it, etc. The I raises its hood so that it may receive homage or praise. Now it is a big lie to say that you have surrendered. It is sheer falsehood. The word arpana is a word that is just thrown about without any value or purpose to deceive people who do not dive into its authenticity. How can you surrender something over which you have no control? You are the slave of your mind, of your passions, or your prejudices, but yet you dare claim that you have surrendered your mind, your thoughts, your plans to God, while you are struggling to escape from the coils of the mind and the stranglehold of the passion. How can you dedicate them to me? No, you need not boast of such bravery, such sacrifice, such devotion. I do not need or ask for such declaration. It is not enough if you believe that God is everywhere and at all times, and that you are yourself no different from Him. When you are God yourself, to whom are you to surrender and what? Think over this deeply and attain to that realization. Thousands of you have gathered here from all the corners of the world. You have put up with many discomforts, hardships, and inconveniences in your struggle to earn grace. It has been for each of you a lesson in love, tolerance, fortitude, and patience. Your innate quality of love has enabled you to share in joy and peace. Love makes you all theists. You have to be labeled an atheist if you have no love in you, however demonstrative your religiosity may be. If you believe that you can win the grace of God by means of vows, fasts, feasts, and recitation of hymns of praise, offering of flowers, etc., you are woefully mistaken. Love alone is the sine qua non. The Gita says you must be advaishta sarvabhutanam, without hatred to all beings, but that is not enough. A wall has no hatred towards any being, but is that the ideal? No. You must positively love all beings, actively love all beings, actively engage yourselves in acts of love. That alone wins the grace you crave for. End of part 2 of 2. Prashanti Nilayam, February 23rd, 1971.